This episode of HTM Tech is brought to you by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy offers a wide range of products including energy drinks and dietary supplements containing zero sugar, 0 to 5 calories, B vitamins, gluten-free, soy-free, and 100% vegan. Rogue Energy products are a great alternative to those corner store energy drinks that are loaded with sugar and cause you to crash soon after. Head over to rogueenergy.com where viewers of HTM Tech can get 10% off any order placed. Not just your first order, but any time you order. Just use offer code HTM Tech at the checkout to get your discount on one of the hottest energy drink brands on the market. Hey, don't take our word for it. Try it for yourself today.
Hey guys, Joe the Tech Guy back here with another episode this week. For those of you who are new to the channel, please like and subscribe so that you get notified every time there's a new episode from HTM Tech here. For those of you who are already subscribed and like the channel on a regular basis, thank you so much. It is always appreciated. This week, I have a short little review for you guys here. For those in the know, for those not in the know, I'm a big Apple person. Most of the devices, as you could probably tell, kind of in the background, I am a Apple person. I use Apple devices throughout my day-to-day life and when it comes to creating content. And I want to touch on a product here this week that, strangely enough, in my opinion at least, it's been kind of rather controversial even amongst the Apple faithful. We are talking about the new generation Apple Pencil. I hope that you guys can see that okay there. So, interesting thing about this here is that it's essentially replacing the first generation Apple Pencil, because that's kind of one of the big things with this is, who is this product for? Especially with the second generation Apple Pencil that can charge wirelessly and all that kind of stuff. Who is this for? This is for somebody who is not necessarily a full-on artist, but just needs something like this occasionally. That's really what this is geared towards. Especially if you've had the first generation Apple Pencil and you have a newer iPad and you don't necessarily want to spend close to $200 for essentially what is a stylus, but there's a lot more to it than that. Then this is what you're looking for here. So I want to first talk about the real positives of this product before I get to some of the downsides. The first thing that you'll notice right off the hop here, I'm going to put it right side by side with the first generation Apple Pencil, is that you'll notice the size difference. So a lot more compact with the new generation Apple Pencil. This may or may not be a upside or a downside to most out there. For me, it's a big upside because it's not as bulky as the previous one. It's a lot more compact, and it also feels more premium when you're holding it in your hand and using it. And that gets to the next point here. Compared to the first generation Apple Pencil, which is this guy right here, and to this one, the first generation, it may not come across on cam here, but it's very glossy and shiny and slippery. Whereas with the new Apple Pencil, the USB-C model, as I call it, the Apple Pencil USB-C, it is much more of a smoother, kind of like almost like a matte kind of finish. So it's has a little bit more of a texture. It's not shiny smooth. It's just rather kind of smooth. It feels much nicer in the hands. It doesn't feel like you're holding on to like a slippery kind of a thing. You can grip it better in your hand for when you're using it and whatnot. That I find that a really, really nice feature. Now, the other thing that I want to get to when comparing it to the first generation Apple Pencil, because this is likely people are going from this, from that to this, is when it comes to charging and pairing this thing, is much more intuitive, in my opinion, because going back to the first generation Apple Pencil, you would have to take this cap off on the end here, and then you would have to plug this in directly into the iPad to pair it and charge it. Now, I don't have an iPad with a lightning port, so I will do the best by plugging it into my iPhone to kind of demonstrate here, because it's not going to do anything, by the way, because you can't use it with an iPhone. But you literally have to plug into the bottom of the device like this. So picture this is your iPad, and you have this thing sticking out from the bottom of your iPad. So as useful and as awesome as this first generation Apple Pencil was, the way that you would pair it and charge it was kind of goofy. So it's nice now with now moving to this one. What it is you just slide this end up, and there is a USB-C port there. So you can charge it plugged into another device. You can charge it through a USB-C cord coming out of your iPad. It's much easier and more intuitive when it comes to charging the device and pairing it up. It makes way more sense, and it's just less kind of goofy when it comes to that. Other major plus sides, as I just showed, compared to, again, let's go back to the first generation Apple Pencil with that cap on the end. It's detachable. Now, it does stick on magnetically, but notoriously, this has been lost by many people. This is what a lot of people's first generation Apple Pencil looks like. It doesn't have the end on it because a lot of people have lost this cap. Now, going to the USB-C Apple Pencil, that end is now attached. You just retract it back to expose the charging port for when you want to charge and pair it, and you just snap it back in place when you're ready to go. And so it results in something that you're not going to lose. So a really big upside on charging it and just not losing parts of this. That was a big thing that on a lot of people lost their cap on their first generation. Some other big upsides: a lot less lag when you're inputting and using this thing. It's almost instantaneous. Like I can spot the difference a little bit. Like there's like microseconds of a delay that's barely noticeable, but as you're writing, it shows up immediately. So it's really, really nice. I mentioned the cap just kind of slides back. Battery life is also much improved on this. I've had this for a little over a week and a half, approximately, maybe closer to 2 weeks, and I've only had to charge this once. When I got it, I think it was only like less than half, so I just fully used it, and I've recharged it. I've only had to charge it once in that time frame, and I've used it quite a bit, so big feature there. Price as well. This is the cheapest Apple Pencil in Canada. It starts at just over $100. In the US, I believe it's probably closer to $80, so way more affordable, which is a big plus, given that the second generation Apple Pencil in Canada comes close to $200. I believe about $160-ish American approximately on those prices there. Now, given all those great upsides of this product, to be objective here with this review, is there are a few downsides as well. One of the big ones here is that, like with most of these kind of things, the battery cannot be replaced. There is no way to get into this product and replace the battery if and when it no longer holds a charge. So ultimately, once you get to that time frame, you're just going to have to purchase a new one. That is kind of par for the course for these kind of things here. Another downside for myself is that when this is attached magnetically to the iPad to store it, the magnet, I think, could be a little stronger. It does grip it fairly well, but when I put it into my bag when I'm on the go, it quite regularly just pops off of there. Now, it'll just be the bag. It's not necessarily a deal breaker for myself. It's a minor inconvenience with that. It just popping off of there. It's honestly not a big deal, and a lot of people have complained about that. It's not a big deal. It really, really isn't. For me, my only other gripe would be considering that throughout Apple's product line of so many things, like whether it be phones, tablets, computers, headphones, colors have become a big thing for Apple products. And these only come in white. I think that with a generation refresh, or if they want to upgrade this product line and kind of refresh it a bit, offer us different colors other than white. Black, yellow, red, blue, the whole gambit. Release different colors. I know that's going to create a little bit of work when it comes to production of these products, but literally everything else in Apple's product line has a multitude of different color options. Give us some different colors for these. I think that would be really, really cool. All right, guys, that about wraps up here for this time. Like I said, if you have an iPad 10th generation or newer, iPad Air, and the recent iPad Pro models, and you need a affordable Apple Pencil, this is what you want. If you're more of kind of the full-on kind of professional artist that's doing a lot of heavy work in that regard, second generation Apple Pencil may be more what you're looking for. But if you're on a little bit more of a budget and you want something that works arguably just as well, this is what you're looking for. All right, guys, that wraps up here for this time, and we'll see you on the next one, where we talk about how tech matters. HTM Tech is brought to you by Microplay, located at 265 King George Road in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, for all of your video game and collectible needs.